Hmm. So that's, yeah, but the live stream has not started yet, right? Okay. So, uh, okay, it sounds like, okay, good. Okay, everybody. Okay, good. Who okay, good, good. So we got what, four of them? Okay, it's good, good. All right, great, guys. All right, well, not sure what that was, but this is just part of using new technology. Um, so we're using a thing called Webinar Fusion Pro, and it's a pretty cool setup here. Megan and I are going to share some information with you. Megan Davies is here. Megan, why don't you wave over there at the camera? There we go. And she's helped me. So we're going to, it's going to take about 40 minutes. We're going to get through some of the stuff here. You're going to get a chance to ask questions. If you want to ask a question, you just type it in. And one of the reasons that we're using Webinar Fusion Pro is because it actually uses a thing called Google Hangouts. And for some reason, it also hooks into live stream, which is also owned by Google, and it gets recorded on YouTube. So for some reason, the live stream part had not started, and that's why you weren't seeing or hearing me, which really cuts down on the effect of a webinar if you get no image and no voice. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to run through some things. If you have any questions at any time, just type them in. Megan will tell me what they are because guys, I can't see it. And but plenty of time. We'll answer all your questions. Like I said, take about 40 minutes. We'll be in here, out of here, and you'll have the information you need. All right. So what we're going to do is Megan and I put together a few slides. So how about if we start by running through those? But at any time you have a question, just shoot a question. And if it's something we're going to get to, I'll tell you to hang on and we'll get to it. And so, anytime you have a question, just shoot it up there. We want to have the interaction with you. Okay. Everybody who's okay, put the number 5 in the comment and send it in, please. Okay. Well, there is a delay here. So, okay. All right. Well, let's go to the, all right, we're getting 5s. All right, great, great. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to run through some slides. So what Megan's going to do is we're going to just do some screen sharing here, and we have these slides that we did on PowerPoint, and they're just up on the computer here. So let's go ahead and pull those slides up, Megan. Megan's going to read them to me. We'll comment on them, and again, you have any questions, shoot them in. Don't hesitate. All right. All right, so first slide there, Megan, is just telling them this is internship, right? Okay, next slide. Okay, so this is going to be a hybrid course in spring 2016. And so we're going to be meeting on Mondays. What is it, at 2:10, I think it is, or 12:45 to some other time. Okay, on Mondays. We won't meet every Monday. We'll meet the first couple of Mondays of the semester, and then we'll meet towards the end there. I know some of you are going to be at Disney, so for you it'll be a true online course, although I think you'll be there for the first couple of ones. We'll be doing live webinars online periodically, but they'll also be in replay. You can take a look at them. Okay, next slide there, please. All right, the basics. What do we got here for the basics? Oh yeah, so get a job. Does it say don't get fired? I think. Get a job, and we have to approve the job. But you've all talked, and a lot of you have talked to me about it so far. It doesn't have to be an executive job, like you don't have to be running a casino, hotel, something like that. Because what we're going to do is you're going to get a job, but then you're also going to do some extra stuff for the company. All right. What else, Megan? Okay, yeah, you're going to have to do a couple forms. One of the forms that you're going to do right in the beginning is a thing called a student waiver. We're going to have an example of that on there for you on Blackboard, but it's a very simple thing, and all you got to do is just just get it filled out and get it into us. I think you have to have it in the first week of class, and you'll see a couple things you have to have in the first week of class. And the reason is because if for some reason you don't have it and you can't get it, you can change it to another class or something like that. All right, what else we have, Megan? The syllabus. So the syllabus is already up online. Now listen, it's on Blackboard. The syllabus is not quite finished yet, but you'll see the kinds of, it's going to have a lot of information for you on there. And we're going to cover some more of that stuff in the slides here, but and we're going to actually probably show you the syllabus a little bit. Okay, what else, Megan? The grading system, it's going to be based on a couple of things, and we'll talk some more about this. One thing is that you've got to have a job. Okay, you got to go to it and not get fired. Your manager is going to do an evaluation of you, probably two, one in the middle of the semester, one at the end of the semester. That'll count for a portion of your grade. I've got some. I think I may have some. Do I have some percentages up there right now, Megan? They're going to change, I think, a little bit as we flesh out the syllabus, but you'll see your manager evaluation will count for some of it. You're going to have to do a project, and that project is a managerial project, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. You'll do that. You'll do postings, which it might be quizzes, might be some postings you have to make. We'll talk more about that. And what else, Megan, is it grading based on? Okay, so there you go. So it's most of the work will be online. Like I say, we'll meet a couple of classes in the beginning of the semester, just to get you rolling. Normally you wouldn't be taking internship until after you'd finished um, career development. So the students who are in career development this semester will be coming into career development. I know some of you are. You're taking it concurrently. I'll be coming into career development to talk about internship. So normally you would have had that already in career development. So you would have already known more all about this stuff in internship. But since this semester, it's concurrently. That's why we're having tonight's webinar. Okay. What else we got there, Megan? What's our next slide? Oh, the postings of Blackboard. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to have some books for you to read that are about making more money, basically. And so we're going to be talking about, this is kind of a cool thing while you're working. And so you'll be making some postings about that. There might be some quizzes. You're also, and listen to this. I'll tell you about this. This is something we're just putting in. Each of you on your job next semester is going to have to create a little slideshow that you'll send to me and Megan, and we'll put it up online for you. And then we're actually going to have some webinars during the semester, and we're going to invite you when it's your turn to show your job. We're going to invite you to be a presenter in the webinar. It's very simple to do. We send you a link. You make sure you have Google Chrome on your computer, and it's really easy to do. And then we'll put the slides up there for you that you took the pictures or the whatever that you have, and you'll just tell us a little bit about your job. And so you're going to have to post about other people's jobs just to kind of show us you were watching the webinars. And remember, you can watch them live, or you can watch them on the replay. Okay. I have a question. All right, question from Christine.
What is, for some reason, if we end up not finding an internship, will you be able to help us get an internship somewhere?
If you are not able to find an internship, will I help you? I'll do my best, but when you see the requirements, they're really pretty minimal for this for this kind of internship, so you shouldn't have any problem. But yeah, the ultimate responsibility, Christine, is yours. But we're going to work with you, help you. Christine, did you get the information about the Seaview Hotel that they're hiring some interns for the spring? So we sent an email out on that. If you didn't get it, send an email to me or to Megan, and we'll shoot you the names of the people at the Seaview you talk to. It's really pretty easy to do. So yes, you had to ultimately get the internship, but but we're going to help you along the way. Okay. All right, great. What else do we have here?
What is the employer evaluation?
All right, the employer evaluation. Well, let's show you a website right now. Now, I'm gonna tell you the address to this website, but you're gonna see it on a couple of slides a little bit later on. Um, the employer evaluation. Well, the website you wanna know about. It's called Quain, which is my last name. Quain.typepad. Oh, Megan's putting it into the message board. Quain.typepad.com/internship. And I put this website together. Megan and I started working on this, and I put this up for the employers so that they can go and get information. So Megan, let's go to quain.typepad.com/internship. And okay, so you can see this up here. Now, listen, I want to tell you in advance, we're still working on this. We just started putting it together. I grabbed this template from another website I did. So you see up there where it says home. Can you put the pointer up there? Home and archives and subscribe. That takes you to the wrong website. I got to get that out of there. That'll be changed pretty shortly, but so just don't click on it right now. You'll see there's a welcome message there to everybody. And then on the right-hand side, under categories, there's going to be things you can go to. So right now, let's go over there and let's click on the employer evaluation form. You see where it says that? What does it say? Sample employer evaluation form. Okay. So when they click on that, this way your employer and you can see what the forms are the employer's going to fill out. So they're going to do either this exact evaluation form for you or one that we come up with. All right. And that's going to be a big part of your grade. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you and the employer understand how you're going to be evaluated. So listen, and this is something you would do on any job you ever take. It's really important to you that you understand how you're being evaluated on that job. Okay. So that's what that is. We'll get back to that website. And but we're trying to organize it this semester for you so everything is transparent. Everybody can get the information they need. The employers will have a much easier time. So when you find a prospective employer, and once we get some other forms signed with them, we're gonna give them this site. I'm gonna be in contact with them, give them this site, and say, listen, because I don't want you to have to bear the burden of that. Once you found somebody who wants to work with you, so that's all set up to make that easier for you and for them. Okay, our next slide there, Megan.
What is the webinar presentation?
All right, the webinar presentation, I told you a little bit about that. During the semester, you're going to take some pictures. You're going to tell us a little story about your job. All right, some pictures, maybe some screenshots of something, whatever it happens to be. Let's say, for example, that you're a server, but you're also doing a project on costing out, doing some recipe costing of some specials that they've been offering, and they're really not sure what they're costing them, type thing. So you're going to do a managerial type of thing. Well, you're going to tell us a little bit about that, and like I said, you're going to send us those slides in advance that you come up with. You take some photos, put them on slides, send us in advance, and then we're going to bring them up, and you're going to be a presenter on the webinar and just tell people about it. It's a pretty cool thing. Will it make you nervous? Yes, it will. Are we going to be real strict in how we grade this? No, I mean, because this is new technology for you. But we're going to send you some videos and how to do it and that kind of stuff. But we'll be doing all the controls. All you got to do is speak into your computer, and then the other students will have to learn what you're doing for your job and make comments about it. Okay, pretty cool stuff. But you're going to get a skill you can use. It'd be really great. Final project. All right. You and your employer and me, we're going to come up with a final project for you. And the final project is going to be something managerial. It's going to be something useful to your employer. It'll be something that they could, that they will gain from you doing. Maybe something that they never got around to before. For example, when Megan went through co-op, not internship, but same kind of thing, she was working in the events office over at Stockton here, and she created some Camtasia videos that were training videos. Is that right, Megan? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, and you know, it was a great thing, and those training videos are now used when new people come on. So you could do something like that. Like I said, you could do a cost control project. Maybe you're working in a hotel and you know, maybe there's a you know, they've got guest amenities that are in different places in the property, and maybe there's not a good inventory system for it, or maybe they're using a point of sale system that you could learn to make some inputs into all of these things. Maybe you help with some scheduling and you come up with a you know, a formula or a software that they could use to schedule. All these things are possibles for your project. It's going to be easy. It's not going to be brain taxing, but it's going to be important because this enables you to have a regular job where you can earn some money, but also do some managerial stuff. Okay. Next slide there, please, Megan.
My job needs to be
No, we just answered that. Job does not need to be at the managerial level, but you need to do a managerial level project, and you have to work 225 hours on your job. Now, if you're working someplace for a semester, you're probably going to work more than that, but you only have to work 225 hours. 25 of them have to be doing something managerial. So, and your employer, maybe your employer doesn't pay you for that work. You know, maybe you're again, let's say you're a front desk clerk. Okay, well, you're a front desk clerk and you work. You know, 300 hours as a front desk clerk. You're also going to have to do 25 hours. In other words, of the 225-hour minimum you need to work, 25 then needs to be spent doing something managerial. So working on your project, sitting in on a management meeting, all that kind of stuff. Okay. And again, we'll help you work this out with your employer.
Do I need to start my job on the first day of class?
Okay. Question. Do you need to start your job on the first day of class? And the answer is no, you do not. You need to start it pretty shortly thereafter, you know. Now, remember, you need 225 hours. It has to be spread out over the course of the semester. But it's possible, for example, that you might be working someplace where they say, well, listen, we're really not, you know, we're not busy right now, so we won't really get busy until, let's say, March. Well, you know, if you want to squeeze, you know, if you want to get your management stuff done early, go in there and shadow people, that sort of thing. You can do that. Okay. But we need to know about that ahead of time. All right. Okay.
Can I start my job before getting work done?
You can start your job. In other words, if they say, listen, we'd like you to start, suppose, for example, they want you to work over the Christmas holidays, or excuse me, the holiday season. Okay, we gotta be generic. So they, you know, that's important. They're gonna be busy. Maybe they want you to work over New Year's Eve, whatever it happens to be. Um, you can start that, but it won't count until for your internship until the semester starts.
The affiliate agreement program.
All right. So listen, here's a couple of important forms that you need to know about. All right. And this is something that the employer needs to sign. It's called the affiliate agreement form. And what this is this talks about all kinds of things. It's and well, let's tell you what. Let's go to the website quain.typepad.com/internship. All right. So if you got that up there, Megan. All right. So now you're going to see over on the right hand side, it talks about. I think it's 1.1 that talks about required forms for employers. All right, so if you go onto that page, if you click on that, um, you'll see that there's some text there, and one of the things it talks about is the affiliate agreement, and this is going to explain it to the employers. Now, it's a 2-page contract, and it looks like a contract, and it's a little frightening to some people, but when they read it, there's really nothing in there. It's just, you know, it's just saying that that you know, that they have insurance, that they abide by all the non-discrimination laws that we do at the state offices, that kind of stuff. You know, it's but it has to be signed, and if you'll scroll down there, Megan, can you scroll down and show people where the employers can actually download it? You see the download link there on there. So the employer can download it from there. But now listen, I want to tell you, I'm working on this affiliation agreement because there's places where we have to fill in stuff, and so there's a lot of blank spaces on it. So what we're doing is we're redoing this so that all our information is filled out already on there. So when the employer gets it, all they have to do is fill out their information, sign it, and send it back to us. Now, let's go back to the homepage of that quain.typepad.com/internship. And you'll also see over there on the right, I think it's 1.1.1, is that the affiliation agreement. So what I did was Megan and I copied and pasted a blank affiliation agreement right in there. So without having to download it, they can read what it says and that kind of stuff. Again, I'm going to be making some changes to that and updating it just a little bit so our information is already filled out. But these are what employers will be able to see. Now, again, if your employer has a question about this, on this website, my contact information is all over there. And so they can call me and we'll help you out with this. All right. All right. Our next slide there, please, Megan. Okay. All right. So the affiliation agreement, I should mention this about the affiliation agreement that we just went to. That is good for 3 years. So if the company that you're going to work with has already done an affiliation agreement for somebody else and it was within the last 3 years, they don't have to sign a new one for you. And that's an important thing to know. And I'm going to get a list of places that have current affiliation agreements with you, again, which will help you, find a job easier. If you're working here on campus doing an internship, let's say you're working for Chartwells or something like that, or in the case like Megan did at Event Services, you don't need an affiliation agreement. The Seaview, which we own, you don't need an affiliation agreement because we keep one current over there. Or Brigada's got a current one. There's other places, okay? So that's the affiliation agreement. But now the learning contract, this is something a little bit different. Again, it's about a 2-page document. And if we go back over to quain.typepad.com/internship, you're going to see on the right-hand side there, look at 1.1.2. Is that what it is, Megan? Okay. This is a kind of a blank agreement, learning contract here. And can you bring that one back up again for them? So okay, and again, I'm filling this out a little bit more detailed so that it'd be easier for people to understand. But what this learning contract is it's going to be an opportunity. Me, you, and the employer are going to agree to what your job description is and that kind of stuff. And in our program, the hospitality management program, the tourism management program, we really don't need this so much, but Stockton requires this because there are a lot of other programs on campus that have internships like communications and that kind of stuff. And sometimes the students end up, running and getting coffee or picking up the dry cleaning for the boss and that kind of stuff. So this learning contract is very simple. It basically says, hey, here's what this course is about. Here's what we need your help with. Okay. Real simple. Okay. So there's two agreements that you're going to have signed, which one's going to be the affiliation agreement, one's going to be the learning contract, okay, that your employer has to sign. All right. All right, waiver, I think we talked about before. That's just where you're signing saying that, you release us from liability, that kind of stuff. And that's due the first week of class. The course will be a piece of cake. I mean, this is not going to be a hard course. This should be a fun class for you, and again, by putting these websites together, that kind of stuff, I'm just trying to take the mystery out of it for you. How often we meet in class? We'll meet the first few weeks of the semester, and we won't meet in class again until maybe at the end, maybe not, but we'll be meeting online with these webinars.
What are the webinars? How
Okay, right now I think we have 5 scheduled or something like that. We'll adjust that. They'll be just this kind of format.
The HTMS internship coordinator.
Oh, Here's some good news. We are hiring an HTMS internship coordinator. As a matter of fact, we have the job has been advertised. This person is going to act as a full-time person, deals with nothing but internship, um, and also with professional work experience. And so they'll be there. They'll be able to answer questions as well. They'll keep all the paperwork lined up. As you can imagine, am I the best person to be, keeping track of paperwork? No, I can't read the paper because I can't see it. So it's going to be a great thing for us to have. That person will probably be in place by about January 15th. So when you start the course, that person will be there the first day. Oh, possible sign readings. Yes. Here's some. I'm going to assign you some books. I haven't decided which ones yet, but here's the ones I'm thinking about: Overcoming Time Poverty, uh, uh, Achieve More by Working Less. That's a book I wrote, and so you'll get a free copy of that. All right, I'll send it to you in a PDF so you can just read it that way. Money Talks. Finally, the first ever interview between man and money. Again, I wrote that book. It's free. I'll send you a PDF of it. It won't cost you a thing. And then I'm pretty sure I'm going to require you to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. These are just books. We might do some excerpts from either Think and Grow Rich or How to Win Friends and Influence People. These are books that as you're working, you really ought to understand how your money is made and how you can make more of it. Okay. Okay, so how about some questions? Does anybody have some questions they want to ask? This would be a great time to ask them. Once you shoot out a thing, how about asking some questions? Okay, good. Do we have any questions from anybody? Are you still there, by the way?
I checked like 5 minutes ago, and they were all still there.
Oh, they're all still there. Okay. Okay, I'm waiting for questions. Are we getting any questions? Somebody must have a question. I refuse to leave until somebody asks a question.
Jessica says still here, no question.
Oh, well, thank you, Jessica. Jessica says still here, no questions. That's good. Sometimes I feel like this when I'm talking to a live class with students sitting right in front of me. Let me ask you a question, and maybe Megan, you can question this out. Did you find this helpful? Let's find out if this webinar was helpful.
Question from Robert.
Okay, Robert.
How can we make sure our job qualifies if we already have one?
Okay, Robert, do me a favor. What type of ask him, Claire, what type of job? I mean, Megan, what type of job he has? That's a good question, Robert, and it's got to be a pretty awful job if it doesn't qualify. Oh, good, Cassandra. I'm glad that was helpful. Oh, good, Kylie. Well, it's good to say that because this is being recorded, and this way, when I show this to the dean, she gives me a pat on the back and says, "Good job." So, Robert, what kind of job do you have? And anybody else who has a job already, shoot me. How about tell me what kind of job do you have? And let's just talk about that for a second. Yeah, Blue Green Vacations. Is that is that a timeshare, Robert? Yeah, one of the problems with the Google Hangouts here is we have a slight, well, not a slight, we have about a 30-second delay. So, sometimes it's better if we just live chat on the thing there. Okay, so that's perfect. Yeah, that's a perfecto. Because we'll switch to Spanish for a few minutes there. Okay, yeah. So Robert's got a job as a salesperson for a timeshare resort. That's perfect. So now, what could Robert do as a management type of thing? Well, he could do some research on maybe some demographics of the people who are coming to the timeshare presentations, and maybe make a list of objections that they're coming up with, and do a here's a great thing, coming up with a list of questions they come up with or objections they come up with, and making a Pareto chart, an 80-20 chart there, which is called checklist analysis, Robert, which I'd be glad to go over with you. It's a great technique. It's fantastic. It makes an unbelievable presentation to the management there. So something like that would be a great project for him to be working on. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for. Okay, how about anybody else? Anybody else told us they have a job?
Sandra says, I'm a hostess at Social 37 in Tom's River. We work with open table reservation systems. Will that work?
Okay, so there we go again. Okay, so who is this, Chris? Cassandra. All right, Cassandra says she's a hostess at um, uh, a restaurant up in Tom's River and works with open table. All right, fantastic. Now listen, people think of a hostess as as a kind of a low level job, but a hostess is there are so many opportunities to mess up the entire dining room as the hostess. Okay, the hostess has to be able to work with reservations. They have to keep the tables moving. They have to look at turnover time, all that kind of stuff. There are so many great management studies you can do with that. Also, working with a point of sale system there, Cassandra, would be fabulous things for you to be doing. And again, imagine when you're making a presentation and you're telling all of us, oh, you know what, I was doing this, but then as I became an intern here, I asked to get let into more information, that kind of stuff. And this is what they're teaching me. Think about how we'll all benefit with that. You guys are doing great. I'm so excited.
Rebecca says, I am a waitress for a catering company.
Okay, Rebecca's a waitress for a catering company. Okay, let's take that one. Is Rebecca?
Yes.
Okay, Rebecca, let's take this one. Now, catering company. What's important in a catering company? Well, scheduling. Not only scheduling of the employees, but scheduling of all the equipment that's needed for a caterer. So imagine the kind of management program you could get into there when you said, listen, I need to do this, and so maybe they say, well, listen, you're a server, so we'll pay you while you're being a server. But for those 25 hours, maybe you go in and, you look at some things and you look at some of the problems they've been having. Like, for example, if and here, this goes back to this checklist analysis, like I was talking about with Robert. There's so many. Matter of fact, do me a favor, Megan. Let's make a note. I want to teach checklist analysis in this class in one of the webinars we do, because it's a great thing. Nobody knows about this, and it's a great thing to do for a project because it makes you look like a hero, and it's so simply stupid. It's just or stupidly simple, I should say, but it's so powerful. So Rebecca, I'm sure that they get comment cards from people at the caterer there. Well, did you know that with checklist analysis, which was the 80-20 rule type of thing, and it's actually a real thing, that I've made a lot of money using. I mean, people pay me to do this as a consultant for them. What we do is we take all the comments, we separate them into categories. We find out which categories of things are causing the most problems, and you solve them first. That's the 80-20 rule. So you put it's an unbelievable management thing you can do. So simple, but you're going to look good. And remember, it's not how you feel, it's how you look that's important.
Okay, Alexis.
Okay, Alexis.
I am a party hostess and cashier at Chuck E. Cheese. Not sure if I'll be using it as my internship, but it will have something to do with events.
Okay, so I'm sorry, who was this? Is Alexis. Okay, so you're a party hostess and cashier at Chuck E. Cheese. Again, there's scheduling with this. There's revenue management with this, because how do you upsell stuff? In other words, you can take almost any kind of job in the hospitality industry, um, and create a project there. Folks, here's what you're doing. You're getting experience, all right? And but what you want to do is you want to position yourself from this thing. And by the way, I don't know how many of you have been in one of my classes lately, like my marketing class this semester. I know a couple of you have been in my marketing class this semester. I'm going to, for your projects, I'm going to teach you how to do video presentations, and I'm going to give you an editable web page that you can put your project on that is going to blow the socks off of not just the people you're working with right now, but I'm going to give you this web page. I'm going to keep this page live for you. And when you go to get a full-time job, you're going to be able to say, hey, listen, I did an internship. Here's what I was doing basically, but look what I did because I knew I wanted to learn more about this business. And what a positioning thing for you. I want to load you up with competitive tools so that when you graduate, um, you've got something really great going for you, that when you're sitting there in an interview, or better still, before the interview, when you send them the URL address to this page I'm going to show you how to create, it's just sitting there, and they're going to pass that around. I'm telling you, you're going to, what you have to do, you're going to figure out ways on how to spend your money. That's going to be your biggest problem. Okay. Excellent, excellent. Well, listen, I can't tell you how excited I am that we're launching this new internship program. Megan, how much time did we go through here? Oh, 8:42. We're almost, well, we started a little bit late, so we probably did about 40 minutes or something like that, or 38 minutes, something like that. Just a perfect amount of time. I'm so proud of you guys. And you know me, I love the students. I can't wait to work with you. Uh, you know, uh, and I want this to be one of your best memories of being here at Stockton. And I want it to be one of the most important things that launches your career and your ability to make money, and then to give back money to the university. All right. So I'll be signing off. Do I have any last questions? Standing by, and all right, seeing none, I thank you all. Don't forget to go check out that website, quain.typepad.com/internship. And remember, it's not quite complete yet. We're going to be working on it this weekend. So it'll be ready for the employers very soon. Okay? Love you guys. Take care.